Welcome back to Evan Hozochi Mamarga Gasau TV. Are going to be with me, Princess Mudisha. Let's start with the news headlines. President Kagame towards the Azerbaijan Formula 1 circuit. The Switzerland Rusa pours rainbow jays as the UC World opens in Kigali. On the international scene, President Donald Trump hails Charles as American hero at the memorial service. Let's take a short break to be back into the news details. Welcome back into the news details and the start on news in Rwanda, where President Paul Kagame on Sunday, September 21st visited the Baku City circuit, the venue for Formula 1 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, as part of his 3-day official trip to Azerbaijan. Accompanied by Azerbaijan Minister of Youth and Sports, President Paul Kagame toured the 8-old track, which has hosted F1 races for nearly a decade and is one of the 24 circuits on this year's championship calendar. The visit coincided with the Max Venter of Red Bull Racing claiming victory in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, a win that brought him closer to reclaiming the season top spot from Moscow of MC Warren. Last year, President Paul Kagame confirmed Rwanda's bid to host a Formula 1 race, which would make the East African nation the first African host in 3 decades. Since then, preparations have been underway. The Minister of Sports, Neri Mukazire, confirming that the project is progressing steadily. President Kagame tour of Baku follows visits to other notable circuits, including the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore and the Rosanna International Circuit in Qatar, highlighting Rwanda's growing engagement with the global motorsports. Turning to our next story, the 2025 the UC World Championship began in a historical fashion on the Sunday as Switzerland Marie Rusa claimed her first ever rainbow jays with the victory in the Women's Elite Individual Time Tribunal in Kigali. Racing 31.2-kilometer course through the Rwanda capital, Lesi delivered a dominant ride, clocking 43 minutes 09 seconds at an average speed of 43.3 kilometers per hour. She finished nearly 1 minute ahead of the Dutch veterinary Anna, who took silver with her compact demo securing a bronze. The win marked a career milestone for Rusa, who celebrated the 34th birthday a day earlier after taking silver in 2020 and 2021, a bronze in 2022. She finally stood on the tops to wear the rainbow stripes. For the home crowd, there was a special pride as Rwandan riders Severina Nirere and Diane Ingabire lined up in the time trial, representing Rwanda with determination. Nirere completed 31.2-kilometer course in a time of 50 minutes, while Ingabire finished with 52 minutes. Though outside of the medal contention, their participation drew a huge cheers along the route. Now let's turn our focus to this story, where during the UC ILOD World Championship in Kigali, women entrepreneurs were spotlighted at the official fan zone, showcasing their businesses and creative offerings. At the heart of the festivals at Kigali Heights, female vendors displayed cycling jays, crafts, artwork, and food, drawing crowds who came both for sports and explore Rwanda's local talent. The fan zone set up to allow fans to watch races on the big screen, enjoy local performance, and purchase merchandise, also served as a platform for those women to connect with the customers, build visibility, and grow with their networks. Organizers emphasize that this inclusion provides economic opportunities and empowerment, celebrating women's active role in business and the creative industries. Through this exposure, female entrepreneurs not only benefit commercially, but also help shift perception about women's role in Rwanda's economy, encourage great participation in such a high-profile public events. Let's take a short break to be back into the international news.
Welcome to Albert.
Let's take a look into the international news, where the memorial service for Kirk, members of the President Trump administration, praised the assassinated conservative influencer, with the president referring to Kirk as martyr, and the turning point US founder's wife, Kaka, said she forgives her husband murder. Kamikaze Giselle proceeds.
On the international news, let's start in Africa, where the Democratic Republic of Congo will end its ban on cobalt exports starting October 16, 2025, and instead introduce annual quotas to control supply. Under the new system, 18,125 tons may be exported for the remainder of 2025, with limits placed to 96,600 tons in both 2026 and 2027. Congo, which produces around 70% of the world's cobalt, initially suspended exports in February after cobalt prices dropped to a 9-year low and extended the ban in June. The quota regime, backed by major minor grain cobalt opposed by China's CMOC, will allocate quotas based on past export levels. 10% of future quotas will be reserved for strategic national projects, and the government may adjust quotas depending on market conditions or improvements in local refining. Proceeding at the Park Memorial Service in Arizona, U.S. President Donald Trump hailed slain conservative activist Shari Kirk as a great American hero and martyr for freedom. Kirk, 31 years old, founder of Turning Point USA and a key figure in Trump's 2024 election win, was shot dead on September 10 at a Utah campus event. Tens of thousands, including Vice President J.D. Vance and senior officials, gathered at State Farm Stadium to honor his legacy. Speakers praised Kirk's Christian faith and urged conservatives to advance his mission of shaping younger voters and defending right-wing values. Trump blamed the radical left for fostering hatred and for retribution against those mocking Kirk's death, igniting debate over freedom speech. Kirk's widow Erica forgave the accused killer and pledged to lead Turning Point forward. Authorities charged 22-year-old Tyler Robinson with murder, though a motive remained unclear. The service mixed political energy with religious fervor and the scrolling Kirk's polarizing influence. Concluding, UK Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper has warned Israel not to annex parts of the West Bank following Britain's recognition of a Palestinian state. Speaking ahead of UN conference in New York, Cooper said she told Israel officials that retaliation would endanger regional security and the prospect of peace. On Sunday, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer announced the historic decision to recognize Palestinian statehood, joined by Canada, Australia and Portugal, calling it a step to revive a two-state solution. Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas welcomed the move, while Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned it as a huge reward to terrorism, vowing to expand West Bank settlements. The U.S. also criticized the recognition, claiming it benefits Hamas. Cooper stressed that Hamas can play no role in a future Palestinian government and urged international partners to protect both Israel and Palestinian security. France, Belgium, and Saudi Arabia plan similar initiatives at the UN. Kamikaze Ghislaine, Mamadou Gasabo TV.
As we come to the end of the news edition today, let's go back with the news headings. President Paul Kagame tours the Azerbaijan Formula One circuit. Switzerland raises powers to rainbow jays as U.S. World opens in Kigali. On international scene, President Donald Trump hails Charlie Kaka as American hero at memorial service. Thanks for having me. Stay tuned.